What's up, everybody? We are back. John Delarose here, delarose.com. That's DELARROZ.com. I am a #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator, and so you can go to my Amazon page, which is in the description below, pick up my books. If you enjoy my take on comics, you might enjoy my science fiction graphic novels and novels, so grab those today. This is a Reckless book by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. It's called Destroy All Monsters. This just came out as of the recording of this video. Super excited to talk about this today. This is the third volume in the Reckless series. They've been coming out with like a full graphic novel like this about once every 6 months or so. And I like this format. I'm glad they're doing this instead of single issues. It feels very Eurocomics. And what Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips has done is made a very pulpy story. Now, I'm not going to be able to turn to all the pages in this because there is some little brief nudity portions because, you know, that's what they do. But you can see Sean Phillips' artwork in the beginning of the story here, and check this out. This is a character called Ethan Reckless, and he's a private eye, basically. He operates out of an old theater, and you've got a mystery brewing of what's happening, and they go back and tell you what it does in classic comic format. Ed Brubaker really likes that way of storytelling. And he's got an assistant who he's kind of, you learn about her background origin here and how she is affiliated with him. And he actually hunts down this character over the course of this, who's this like bad guy billionaire who's like messing with some government projects in an area. And a guy ends up, there's a city council guy who ends up part of that, who ends up killed, but it's made to look like an accidental death. And Reckless hunts down the bad guy through the course of this. I'll kind of show you the end. And they come back, the movie theater kind of burns down a little bit, and there's this whole personal relationship drama between the two over the course of this, him and his assistant. And it kind of gets resolved towards the end. Now, I've glossed over this again just because there's some nudity in the middle of the book, and I don't want to go too deep into it here. But I really like Sean Phillips's art. I think it looks very cool and classic looking. Ed Brubaker tells this like period piece. This is set in 1988, so you really should read the first couple books first of the Reckless story. It like goes through his life in the 70s and then the early 80s and now the late 80s. I'm going to guess the next one's going to be the early 90s because they do make these noir period pieces out of this. And you get that whole sense of time through the course of this, which is pretty fun all the way around. Now, this one really goes into his assistant's background, and you'll care about that a lot more if you read those first two books too, because again, their personal relationship, which is on the rocks over the course of this, is very important to all of that. So it does build upon the prior two, even though this is a completely standalone story. You can just read this by itself as a noir story and mystery with this private eye without having the prior. I just think that background really helps you care about the characters a lot more. And since it goes so heavily into the characters, it's very, very important for that. I love this like kind of retro style. I love the coloring that Sean Phillips does also. It's very almost impressionistic in the way that it's done. Pretty neat stuff. You don't see a lot of this in comics these days. And I think that comics can use a little more of this kind of style. It's a pretty good style for what they're trying to do and for the storytelling involved also. Now, Ed Brubaker does let his politics get into this volume a little bit. Of course, the bad guy is a white dude who's targeting minority businesses. Of course, right? It's like, why? It's kind of silly because, people don't really do that in real life. They just target what they target, and it's not usually racially motivated. But that's such as 2021. There's only one line in this that's kind of annoying like that, and it doesn't really impact the story too much. But that does seep through, and it's a part of it. Still, really good stuff beyond that, and I enjoyed the art. I enjoyed the pacing. I enjoyed the personal elements to this. I enjoyed the mystery and the conclusion. So I call this an 8 out of 10 anyway. I believe the first couple books are a little bit better, but I look forward to this, and it's a fun read every time these Reckless books come out. All right, hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.